Thank you for joining me for another episode of Anahita TV. Today I have a special guest. Her name is Aly Spencer. She's from New Zealand. She's traveled and lived all over the world, and today she's here to share with us some of her experiences, and I hope you'll learn from it. She's been through a lot and she has a lot to share. How are you today?
I'm feeling jolly marvelous.
I like that answer. So how did you end up here? You used to live in Australia, New Zealand, and then moved to...
I was in New Zealand, then I went to London when I was a teenager. I returned to get married and start flying because I didn't adjust too well to the New Zealand lifestyle. It was a little different. And then we went via Japan that's me and my husband, Aly Spencer. And we eventually ended up here because whilst flying, I came to Los Angeles on a very regular level. And I thought, this is for me. I love this place, the action and the everything there was very exciting to me. And we also had my stepson, was in NYU. And so there was a good reason he was there. And he got this marvelous job with HBO, and then now he's with National Geographic. So we had family here. And he's done very well, and everyone's doing very well.
Sounds like he's
a total success.
In the media world.
Yes, so now I'm ready for him to take care of me.
Okay, good.
No, I'm not going to do that to him. He's already taken care of a lot of people.
Yeah, you're already so well to do here in Beverly Hills. You're very well known. I think, the locals kind of come to you and they know you. What are you most popular for?
Well, I think, I join in the community of Beverly Hills is an absolutely not overrated at all. Yeah. And there was a thing that used to be with the mayor of Beverly Hills where everyone went on a walk and you all got to know each other and you all share and help each other.
That's
don't
wonderful.
think there's another
it's
community
a very
in
close
America.
Community.
No, it's like something from another country, really. Lily Boss, who is the mayor, created this walk with the mayor every Monday morning. She's no longer mayor at the moment, so it's gone away, but she went all over the country introducing that.
That's
wonderful. Meanwhile, I've always designed houses and run a clothing business and now real estate. I was always in real estate all my life, really, without a license. I did practice with a friend without a license, and then eventually I sat it and got it, so I became legal.
Oh, good. This was a while back.
A few years ago, not that long ago.
Oh, okay.
So I had friends from New Zealand coming over and buying commercial properties and private friends buying residences, and I was known with the top producers of Beverly Hills, Jade Mills and Joyce Ray, that I used to see every house that went on the market in Beverly Hills to see what was going on interior-wise. So I got to know the market very well.
That's amazing. That's wonderful. So you know all the locals and all the local restaurants, everything. And one of the places that was your favorite was Tana's. And unfortunately, we heard some bad news with the bartender who's...
Michael. Yeah, it was his funeral today.
Oh, I'm so sorry
and,
for your loss.
It was very sad. I knew him 52 years. And I met Tana on a plane whilst I was flying. And I got down there and I met Michael on one of my stopovers. So he did have his funeral today, and there's now a huge gap in my heart because he was, as he was to thousands of people, very famous, wonderful, and everything.
So Tana's, for the audiences, if they don't know, is a local restaurant. It's an Italian restaurant that's been around for many years. How many years has Tana been around?
53 or 4 years.
53 years. And that's where all the celebrities go, like George Clooney has been spotted there.
Everybody.
Mel Gibson, everybody gets spotted there. So that's the place we're talking about. And Aly was a local patron. Yeah. And the bartender is the person, Michael, was why people would go there.
He ran the whole place, really.
Wow.
He was
unfortunately, we lost him.
Yeah, to the virus, actually.
And you work for Keller Williams right now?
Right now, I'm with Keller Williams, and it's a wonderful experience. They're like a family, and they let you do your own thing, and my own thing is quite varied and wide, and I do commercial, residential, and I'm known as a connector of people. I don't like the paperwork, so I get someone to do that. And that's it with Keller Williams, but I'm very happy there.
And I'm gonna ask you something personal. I hope you're ready for the. um, I heard that you were diagnosed with cancer a while back, also, and
That's
look
true.
at you. You look beautiful. And
Well,
what is your secret?
Well, I defied all odds.
Okay.
I was in 1978 diagnosed with cervical cancer and given 2 or 3 months to live.
Wow.
And I knew I didn't have cancer. So I had a second opinion. Then I went to New Zealand, and I'm from an all-medical family, so they had me set up to meet someone, and I had surgery.
Okay.
And here I am. I survived that.
How long ago was this?
78.
So 42 years ago.
Somewhere like that.
Yeah. And they gave you 3 months to live, and I want audiences to know that you don't listen to what the doctors
No,
have
don't
to
listen
say.
to anything.
Yeah.
So I go
Follow
back.
your gut.
Then about 7 years ago or 8 years ago, I got diagnosed again. Maybe it was only 6. I had breast cancer.
Okay.
So I thought, no, I don't know about that. But I didn't go to second opinions and went in and had the mastectomy on one side.
Okay.
And then I thought, no, you're not taking the other side. Because
Okay.
I quite like my shape. So people can look at me from the right. So they then said that it had spread.
Okay.
And I said, no, it hasn't. I don't do chemotherapy, and I don't do anything, actually.
You didn't do
Because I
chemo
know
or
I can-
radiation?
No.
So
don't
what did you
that.
do? Did you do
Nothing.
eating healthy? Did you do?
Well, I always eat healthy.
Okay.
And so I
But
basically...
I know that you drink your wine every night.
Oh, yes.
You
You
never
could
said
tell
no?
me you have to give up food or wine. I'd give up food in a minute. I'm from New Zealand. Everyone's brought up on wine. So it's very... I think a lot of it's in here.
Yeah.
And I guess I've been lucky because they put me on a ghastly drug.
Yeah.
And I couldn't stay awake, and I like to dance all night, so that affected my social life. And I couldn't drive, and I went from 22 waist to 32, and I thought, no, don't like that.
No.
So out of vanity, I threw them back, and they
The
said,
pills.
well, you'll die. And I said, well, no, I'm dying taking it. So here I am.
like
I
that
don't take
answer.
anything. I take no prescription drugs.
Okay.
So.
And you're fine, and you're beautiful, and you're doing great.
Oh,
it's
I'm
been
just
40
great.
years or 6 years in the second round.
I never get anything wrong with me except cancer. That's the only thing I get.
I love your attitude. And while you lived here, you had so many wonderful experiences. I remember, I know one time I was just going to your hallway, and I saw pictures of you with Sean Penn. How did you meet and end up doing business with Sean Penn?
Well, I was approached because I had designed a few restaurants, Nicky Blair's and a few others. And I was approached by a Michael McInerney who had had 40 nightclubs,
Wow.
Tom Marino. And he asked me if I'd like to do a nightclub, a supper club in Santa Monica. And I said, oh, great. But we had no money.
Okay.
That was a little problem initially. And then along came Sean Penn, and he produced the major amount of the money. And then we had Charlie Sheen and Nick Cassavetes and this one and that one and that one. And it became a really successful
What was it
hangout.
called?
It was called McInerney's after Michael.
Okay.
So they said it's the first time Sean Penn's ever owned a nightclub where it wasn't his name that he chose. It was Michael, but he loved Michael. Everybody loved Michael. And it was a large place. And I had a private cigar club out the back called Bums.
That's
And
funny.
Charlie Sheen had his own box and that. And I took all the furniture out of Nicky Blair's when they moved, which I had done, and put it all in the one in Santa Monica.
Wow.
So it was rather a huge success, actually.
How long did you own the club?
I owned it a total of 3 years.
Oh, nice.
And then
Sounds
we were
like
bought out. Michael and I were bought out.
I see.
Yes, so it's now something else. But it really was lovely, if I
It
may
sounds
say
like
so.
a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
And you designed it yourself, you said?
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things I love how you switch so many, you have such a diverse creative feel for everything. And also I think it's your personality. One of the things that you do is interior design, and you have been doing
all my life. And I don't have a degree or anything. I just sort of do it.
Okay, you just have a
Get
knack
it done.
for it. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
And then you were featured in this lovely magazine, and I love all the animal print. Is this something you designed, or
Well, I've always loved animal print from when I was a child, so I managed to throw it in with my clothing quite a bit and with my decor here anyway.
Yeah.
We'll see what the next one brings.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So lovely to talk to you. And you tell me about your furniture. You designed your own?
Yes, I design my own furniture and I get it made in Rosarito Beach in Mexico.
Wow.
It's a mixture of wrought iron and wood, and it's not contemporary, it's not traditional, it's just, I don't know what you'd call it, just sort of fits in. Wonderful. And I like big men and big pieces of furniture.
I like
that
your
gives
taste.
you a clue.
That's a wonderful taste.
So
you can, our friends, thank you so much for joining me with Aly Spencer. You can find her on LinkedIn. Her name is Aly Spencer, A-L-Y, and then Spencer. And she works for Keller Williams.
I work for Keller Williams, and I have my own company called ASDS, which is Aly Spencer Design Systems.
Wonderful. Yeah. So great to introduce Aly to you. She's a local at Beverly Hills. You can reach out to her if you need her assistance. And I'm so proud of you for being able to defy all odds, beating cancer twice.
Yeah.
And now you are, that's most of my show is about people who have defied all odds, and you are definitely one of them.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for taking this interview.
I love saying I eat, breathe, live, and sleep in Beverly Hills.
Perfect. And I love it. It's a wonderful
I'm very
spot
fortunate.
here. It's not at all like the foo-foo posh place that everyone thinks it is.
No, not at all.
It is such a lovely local community. Well, thank you so much for joining me. Hope to see you on our next episode. Thank you so much for joining me with this interview with Aly Spencer. She's a beautiful lady. She's been through a lot, but what I wanted to do was let you know that not to try this at home. Her experience with cancer was her experience only, and if you feel inclined to do whatever it takes to get healthy, that's what I recommend. We definitely do not recommend not to listen to your family physician. That was just one person's experience. It's just to show that, when you are given that diagnosis, it's not the end of the world. We just want to spread out the love and spread out the happiness that you can do whatever you put your mind to. And I'd like to thank my good friend Luca De La Valle. He's an actor and director, and he's helping me film this video. Thank you.